Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury beauty. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite holiday collections every year, and that's the Guerlain Holiday Collection. And I have to say, I always get really excited for this collection. I love seeing what the new meteorites are, and they usually have some really spectacular packaging. Now there is a limited edition lipstick with a special case that is coming out, and it's, it's actually like embroidered and everything. It has this beautiful gold bee on it. I don't know when that's coming. I haven't seen that yet. It looks beautiful. It's also going to be very, very expensive, so I probably won't pick that one up. I did pick up last year's, and it is my favorite case. So it's always something, beautiful to look at. This year I picked up the Meteorites. So we've got the gold Meteorites can with a gold lid. These are called gold pearls. You have 25 grams or 0.8 ounces. There's a 1-year shelf life. Although if you are somebody who is familiar with these pearls, you'll know that they really last a lot longer than that. And these are made in France. So when you purchase the pearls, they do come in a box. And then inside you've got this lid. Now for normal practice, I take out this little cushion. They come with a cushion here. And then whatever powder is on here is usually enough for me to use. So one of the things you can do, is kind of like shake your pearls and use powder that's on the lid so you don't get too much. Or, some people like to shake their pearls to crush it up so you have a more intense highlighter and so forth. But in general, when you receive these, you're going to get a white foam cushion on there. You can use this product, run your brush over it, no need to waste it. And then inside you have the pearls. And at the bottom, because they have moved around during like transport and so forth, there is already some like intense dust. So, you can dip your brush or your finger in there to get a more intense highlighter. And then once you set up, just shake them around, crush that up again. But these are the pearls this year. So we've got a few different colors in here. Let me take out a couple of these so you can see them a little bit better. But we have white and like a soft pink and a light gold. So these are the 4 shades in here. And you can see here's a gold. And you've got a few of those, not like tons. This is actually like a really light pink. You can see the pearly finish on there. And then you have the white ones. There are quite a bit of the white ones and the pearly pink. And then you have some of these coppery red ones. So, these do, at first glance look like they're a deeper meteorites. And they are, they're deeper than like the light version or something like that. But, I think they're pretty versatile for most skin tones, depending on how you want to use them. So we'll look at those during the demo. And I do have a side-by-side comparison during the demo with the Golden Land meteorites, which, at first glance maybe look a little similar because you've got the gold shades in here, just like this. You've got the pearly pink and you have the white. And then you also have this like coppery shade. So those are all the same, but these ones also have this like, it's hard to get this one out, this like deep burgundy plum shade, which is not present in the new gold pearls. So the Golden Land pearls are deeper and it's pretty evident on my skin. They're a little bit rosier as well, but they are a deeper coloration. So we'll look at some comparisons later. Let's continue going through what else I picked up. So there are 2 eye sticks instead of an eyeshadow palette this year. And I have a few of these from the permanent line and I like them. I think they are really nice. These colors drew me in. So we've got one that has a purple. So this is deep plum. And on the other side, because these are dual ended, on the other side we have shiny gold. And the shiny gold shade, I was thinking it would be like super intense. You can see it's got a little bit of a rosiness to it, but it's actually a little bit more sheer on the skin, which makes it work really well. I think they actually go really nicely together. I was a little bit afraid of this gold. I almost didn't pick this one up. But these are the Mad Eyes Contrast Shadow Duos, and it's a cream shadow stick. And let's see here, the other side, we have Icy Gray. Look at that metallic. It's like a metallic medium tone gray, and it's a little cool, but there's some warmth to it. So it's neutral leaning cool though. The other side, which is dazzling silver, also has a little bit more translucency to it, just like the gold one does. This one is cooler in tone than the icy gray, and there's like a touch of blue in it. So it's a little bit of a bluish silver. So I will compare these with the other shadow sticks when we get to comparisons. And then also with the collection, there is like a brow gel, which I did not pick up. That came out also during the Mad Eyes collection. I purchased the brow gel then, but there's a new shade. I think there's like gold or something in there, but I didn't pick that up. There's also a bronzer, which looks stunning, but it's shade 3. So I know it's gonna be too deep for me, but if that's something that you're interested in. And then we have 2 lipsticks in the Rouge G line, and these are the satin formula, which I absolutely love. There are 2 cases to go with it. They have sequins on them. I did not pick up those cases because I already had some extras. So I decided to put mine in the red and green gemstone cases that I already had. But these are the lipsticks. So this one here is Gold Brick. And if you're unfamiliar with Rouge G lipsticks, you know, you buy this component. It comes like this with a little cap here. So if you don't have a case, or, you know, you don't have to have it right away. These are made in France. They're 3.5 grams. And, you know, when you put it in a case, these cases, you know, it's like a clamshell. It opens. There is a mirror in here. And then you just want to hold this closed, and this will kind of, you see this little hook, it's going to go over it and keep it closed here. Now, you're not going to see the color of the lipstick from the outside, but when you want to go and see the color, it should be imprinted on here. They moved it. It used to be like down here, but it's right up here. And it's a little bit hard to see in certain lighting, so you have to kind of turn it because it's, you know, like white on the silver. But you'll have your color number up here. So this one here is Gold Brick, and you can see that you've got this gold ribbon going through it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here, we'll do 2 layers here, or a few layers, so you can kind of see it built up. Look at that. So you can see that this is a red that has some like orangey brownish base to it, and you've got that gold thread in there that really adds some luminosity. So that was number 35, Gold Brick, and then we have number 34, Gold Red. Look at this. Now, last year for, I believe, is the Lunar New Year collection, they came out with something similar to this. I don't remember what shade that was. This one here is number 34. And here's one layer. You can see that this is going to be a cooler tone red. It's got some pink in it. And I actually have it paired with the ribbon lip liner right now, and they go pretty well together. So I just think they are both beautiful options. And you can definitely see a little bit more of that terracotta in the Gold Brick when you put it next to something cooler in tone. So those are the items that I picked up from the holiday collection. Let's go ahead and take a look at the demos, and then we'll come back and we'll look at some comparisons. All right, so we're going to start off with the Mad Eye stick, and we're going in the Deep Plum shade. And we're going to put this on the outer half here. And we're just plain right now, so I'm going to do each eye a little different. So I'm just going to take this, let's start with a finger here and kind of blend that out a little. You know what, I'm going to use a brush. Taking the Rougher 12. I really like this style of brush. This is actually the one I reach for the most, but when I'm working with some sort of like cream shadow, especially something that's like in a crayon form that's a little bit firmer, this is a good density to kind of brush things out. So just getting a little of the purple here. And let's try the gold side. So this side is called Shiny Gold. I'm gonna put this here. I have to say these colors, this duo reminds me of the holiday collection from Chanel a couple of years ago, where they had, I mean, theirs were powders, but they had the purple and the gold together. All right, that's actually a lot lighter than I was thinking it was gonna be. And this gold actually has like a little bit of a rosier hue to it, kind of like a coppery rose in there. So let's see here. All right, so I need a little purple, but I don't want to put a lot on my lid, so I'm just going to get some on the brush here. And I'm just going to softly start blending this in up to the midline. I'm going to wipe off the brush and just blend a little bit more. And then I'm going to do the same with the gold, so they are overlapping there. Okay, and then what's left is just kind of going in the crease here. And there we go. Let's add a little bit more here. All right, so there we go. I think we'll use the purple for the liner as well. So I'm going to take the Sonia G Smudger 2 and just going to get some of that on the brush here. And we're going to put this on the upper lash line. This product works really well for an eyeliner. And what's left is just kind of going on the lower lash line here, just to the halfway point. And then I'm going to wipe this off and get some gold. All right, so here's the gold. Let's just get some of that. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of this more like in the inner corner part, going to the purple. And I'm putting on the lower lash line up to the midline. All right, so there's this eye. Let's try the silver. All right, so we're gonna start with the deeper shade here. This one's called Icy Gray. Oh, look at that. That's really pretty. Of course, I made a mess already. Just gonna go up to the midline here. And I'm gonna take the number 12 brush again. I did wipe it off. Okay, and let's check the other side. This side is Dazzling Silver. Definitely cooler in tone and brighter, and there is a little bit of a blue hue to it. Nothing like, not super blue, but a little bit. You know how some silvers have that like bluish cast to it. All right, so there's the silver duo. I really like that one. I want to mix these two together. I actually think, the silver and the gold will be pretty, the silver and the purple. So when I do my next look, we are going to mix the silver and the purple, I think. I don't know. We'll see, but we're going to mix them up. Let's finish off this eye. We're going to do the same deal that we did with the liner. All right, so we've got the deeper gray. All right, so there's that. I'll add some mascara. I'll see you in a second. All right, so before we move on, we're going to take a look at the Meteorites. So this is the Meteorites. It does come with a little sponge on top, kind of protect the balls a little bit. And I mean, don't waste that. You can totally use that, dip a brush into it or whatever. And usually your balls will come a little bit crushed, and you can use some of that like crushed powder that's like down at the bottom. Get that with your finger or with a skinny brush, and you can have a very intense highlighter. We're going to dust this on first with a blush brush, and that way you can really see what it looks like on its own. On my skin, I had the Sisley Le Temps Foundation in 0R with a very light dusting of the Rodial Glass Powder, and nothing else is on. So we're going to take the Chikuhodo KZ4. Just going to get some powder on there, and let's just dust this on. I mean, you can see that sheen. Now, these powders I often use for buffing them in. They give this beautiful, like, pearlized finish but I wanted to see, since this one is a little bit deeper than the ones I usually use, what this would look like on its own, because you can use these straight up as a highlight as well. I mean, look at that. You've got kind of like a golden glow with a touch of red. These are the ones that came out a couple of years ago, the Golden Land ones. So you can see that they are actually pretty similar. I feel like, at least in my mix, I have more gold in the Golden Land than I do in here. But I do think that you have, for the most part, the same color balls in there. In the Golden Land, you can see there's a little bit of a deeper shade. Let me show you. You see down there, that shade there is like a deeper burgundy. I don't have any of those in this. I do have this like copper, this gold, and this white. And then there's also like a light pink in here. This one doesn't have the light pink. Instead, it's got the kind of that dark red, like burgundy red there. It's actually got a touch of plum in it. And then we have more gold. So just so you can see what the difference is on the cheek though, we are going to take another Chikuhodo KZ4 and we'll go into Golden Land on the other side so you can see what that one looks like. Here's Golden Land. Let's get our second coat on. All right, so Golden Land versus the new one, which is called Gold Pearls. So you can see though there is an intensity difference. Golden Land is going to be more intense. You also see more of this like coppery red tone to it than you do with the Gold Pearls. And while we're trying things on, let's try out one of the new lipsticks. This is in the shade Gold Red. I mean, look at this. You've got this beautiful gold ribbon going throughout, and I just think it is stunning. So these lipsticks, you purchase the lipstick in the case separately. I did not purchase these cases because I already have some extras here. So this is how it comes. You can totally just use this if you want, or if you want to take your time picking a case or something like that. But I figure I already have some that I bought a while ago that I haven't used, like this gold. I have a red and a gold one. I mean, a red and a green one. So I figure I'll use these. They're very Christmassy. And they're less expensive than the sequin ones this year as well. I think, I forget how much these ones are. They might be like 22. But let's go ahead and put on the new lipstick shade. This one is called Gold Brick. It's number 35. So you can see this gold ribbon that goes throughout. It really just adds this like a little bit like of a golden luminosity to it. You don't see like gold sparkle or anything, but I mean, if you look at the way the light hits it, you can see like a little bit of almost like a gold reflect in a way. So I think that's from the gold ribbon there. And other than that, you know, this feels like, this is the Rouge G Satin formula, which is one of my favorites. Very, very creamy, so comfortable on the lips. I mean, it's one of my favorite satin formulas. And let me show you all of this from a distance. All right, so let me know which eye look is your favorite. So we've got the plum and gold duo here and the silver and gray over here. On the cheeks, this is the Golden Land Meteorites versus the Gold Pearls from this year's holiday collection. So you can definitely see the difference in intensity and even the tone. I mean, this from a distance looks more golden versus this looking more copper. And this is the Gold Brick lipstick. I mean, look at that sheen, that luminosity from it. It's really beautiful without being like glittery or sparkly. You know, there are no like sparkly bits or anything in it. There's no grit or anything. It's just a gorgeous formula. So yeah, this is it. And I have to say, I think both eye colors actually end up going very well with this this lipstick. So thank you. All right, so we're gonna start off with the deep plum side of the stick. And I'm gonna be mixing the sticks together this time. So start off with deep plum. And I'm using the Givenchy Builder 2. This is just like a dense brush. So I'm just using this to kind of feather this out a little bit. And I'm taking a little bit into the crease. All right, next I'm gonna go into the deep grayish side, but it's icy gray. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this here, like in the midpoint. Using the same brush to kind of just blend that out on the edges. And then we're gonna move into the dazzling silver side for the inner portion. And let's see. All right, so you can see that the purple is a little bit more matte. So I'm gonna take the brush and just get a little bit of the dazzling silver here. I'm actually gonna put this on, but I'm gonna mix the purple into this. So before that completely sets, let me get the purple. All right, just gonna get a little bit of this on the brush and just kind of mix that in because I want the depth and color of the purple, but I want a little bit shimmer. There. All right, so I wiped off the brush and I'm just going over the edges very, very softly. And I'm just gonna take a crease brush. This one is from Royalty Cosmetics. It's a 225. And I'm just going into the crease here a little bit. I'm gonna take the smudger one from Sonia G and I'm gonna go into the gold. And I'm just gonna dab this in the inner corner just for a little bit of brightening. That's a little different from the silver. All right, I'm just gonna get a little bit more on the brush and start putting that on the lower lash line here up to the midway. And then to line the eyes, this is a Omnia brush. This is the Flat Definer BOM 22. You can see it's just like a flat liner brush. And I'm just gonna get a little bit of the purple on here and put this on the upper lash line and the outer half of the lower. So just kind of tiny little stroke, more of a stamp. All right, so that's the eye look. I'm just gonna add some mascara, but first, let's go ahead and finish the rest of the face. So for blush today, I'm gonna go into the Cle de Peau cream blush in Joyful Pink. This is from the Cle de Peau Holiday Collection. I'm just using my foundation brush today. This is the Kyoto F04. And just gonna stamp that on and then buff that in. I'm just wiping the excess on my cloth. And I just want a little bit of blush today, not too much because I want the meteorites to shine. So this is more of a stamping motion like you would do with your fingers. All right, so underneath the blush, I have on the Sisley Le Teint foundation in 0R and then also the very, very, very light dusting of the Rodial glass powder. We're going to go into the meteorites. We're going to buff them all over. So one of my favorite brushes to use with meteorites, I love the Sonia G Face 1, but I also really like the Master Face. The Master Face isn't going to buff them in quite as much, but it gives a really beautiful finish as well. So I figure let's use this one. This brush is coming back in stock very soon, possibly in time for the Beautylish event. The Beautylish gift card event is starting next Thursday, the 21st, I believe. So here is one side with the meteorites kind of buffed in. You can see you get that sheen. There's a little bit of this gold finish to it. Let me show you from a distance. All right, so here's the difference between the two sides. You can see that there's a little bit more radiance on the side where the meteorites have been buffed in everywhere. It's also, it makes my skin just slightly warmer, but this is not like a true gold. I mean, there's gold, but there's like a touch of red and pink in there. So it's kind of giving you more of like that fire-kissed golden glow. So that's what this looks like. And then let's go ahead and we'll finish the other side. I'm going to do this one from a distance so you can kind of see, you know, what it looks like. Sometimes it's easier to see things from further away. You can see the whole effect. Because like for me, I can see that sheen that pops up on my cheek with a meteorite a little bit better sometimes when it's from a distance. You don't get so focused in on an area that you overdo it. So this would be the meteor. It's kind of buffed in all over. Now, another thing you can do, and I show this in the other demo, is you can use this as blush. So let's go ahead. We're just going to apply this on top of the blush, just more as a highlighter. So I'm going to take the Surratt highlighting blush. And, you know, if you want this as a straight up highlighter, really you want to get the crushed powder that's down below at the bottom of the pearls. So that's what I did. I reached those bristles in there. And here it is as a highlight. And I'm going to move you in for the other side. All right, so you can see the highlight there on its own, and just get a little bit more of that powder here. So you can see the powder on the brush. Look at that. You can see that glow, that glistening glow. All right, so I will add mascara and brow products in a minute, but let's move on to the other shade of the lipstick. This is number 34, Gold Red. And again, it comes like this when you purchase lipstick and you have to purchase the case yourself separately. Look at this gold ribbon going through here. This is going to have such a sheen to it. And I'm not sure how clearly you can see that up close, but you can see that there's like this luminosity to the gold. It looks sparkly, but not like it's so finely milled. It's not like glittery. But look, can you see, like, it's like glitter that's gone through a blender. So this is Gold Red. One light layer. Look at that. It has this shine to it. These lipsticks are ultra shiny, and the gold ribbon imparts this like the sparkle that's not really sparkle. Like it's not like one of those glittery lipsticks like the Chantecaille lip crystals or anything like that. There's just this like sheen, this shine to it that you don't get with a regular satin lipstick. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna go ahead and compare some of the other matte eye sticks. We're gonna start with those. We're gonna start off with this one here, which actually has Icy Gray again. This one is from the Permanent line. This, you can see they are this, I mean, they're supposed to be the same color. You can see how creamy they are. I pressed a little bit too hard on this one. I ruined the tip. But you can see that the other one, it has just a little bit more blue in it. It's probably just a batch difference though. But the other side of this one actually has Night Gray, which is going to be a matte navy. One other difference is the ones from the original Matte Eyes line, you've got more of this like rose gold versus the yellow gold for the holiday collection. So that's going to be my closest from these Matte Eye sticks, but we might as well just go ahead and look at the other shades I have, just in case you're interested in any of these. They were hard to find when they came out. This one here is going to be Ash Green, which has a matte green on one side, and the other side has Pearly Green. So there's that. And then this one here is Warm Brown, which has a matte brown. And then we also have Golden Brown. Now, I believe there was another stick lipstick that has like the plum shade, which I don't know if it's the same plum, but I don't have that one. So these are from the regular Mad Eyes line, and these two are holiday. Let's move on to the lipsticks. So this is one of the cases from last year, and this was one of the shades. This is a 214. This is like the classic red. I'm not positive, but I think this shade might have been the one that they had the gold ribbon through for Lunar New Year. So you can see it's a slightly different red, but if you have that one, check, see what the number is. But 214 is their classic red, and this is the shade that will be in that special embroidered bee case. So if you're interested in that special one, they always use this 214 shade as their signature red. So just for reference, you can see it's also a satin formula, but it's not going to have quite as much shimmer because it doesn't have that gold vein, that gold ribbon. Now, I don't have a lot of these more like terracotta shades. I just ordered the Lisa Eldridge, which will give me like more of an option. But this here is the Givenchy Holiday Shade in Copper Nude. This is number 501. That's the closest that I have. You can see that this one here, it doesn't have so much orange. It's more brown. There's a little bit of like gold shimmer in there as well. Now for reds, this is the Givenchy in 36 L'Interdit. This is the Rouge Deep Velvet. You can see this is going to be warmer in tone. And then these are a few Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So this one here is Dragon. I'm going to put this right on the top. This is the other one that I have that is, more orangey. You can see that Dragon has more orange in it, but it is, this might be like the Cinnabar shade that just came out. I'm not sure, but, it might be like a satin version of it because based on the description, they seem like they'd be very similar. This one definitely has more brown than Dragon and like a touch of red. And then we have Velvet Ribbon, which is a cool tone red. But you can see, the ribbon still has more pink in it. It's a little bit more blue. And again, the finishes are going to be different on these, obviously, since these are velvets. And then the last one I wanted to compare is Velvet Morning, which is, sorry, I kept opening every wrong shade. So here's Velvet Morning. I'm just going to squeeze this one in right here in between these. But you can see it's going to be more of an orangey red. And then my last comparison is going to be Rouge d'Or from Chanel. This was Chanel's holiday red last year. You can see you've got gold sparkle running throughout it. We're going to put this one right here so you can kind of see it closer. And actually, let's move it down here. It's a little bit better of an angle. And let me swatch the the Guerlain right next to it again. So this is the gold red. You can see that they're pretty close to each other. The Guerlain has a little bit more gold in it, right? And it's very slightly warmer, but they're pretty close. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the closest match. That's one of my favorite lipsticks, the Chanel one. So I think this will be moving up into it as well. One of the biggest differences on the lips is this is much shinier. So yeah, very holiday oriented. I love it. All right, so I'm going to try to compare the Meteorites. Now it is really hard to swatch Meteorites. So, we'll do the best we can to get color. This here is the gold pearls. And this one here is Golden Land. So you can see Golden Land's a little bit more red, not quite as yellow looking. And then I'll compare these just in case you have any of these other ones, but the other shades I have are not similar. This one here is the Golden Bee that came out last year. These are much more similar to the light Meteorites. So you can see if you have something like the light Meteorites, you can see that the depth difference. And these ones here are the light ones. So let's put the light ones right next to that. So here's light. You can see it's a little bit pinker. And then the last one I want to compare is the pink pearl ones from last year. These sold out so quickly. You know, they were so hard to get. They're beautiful as a blush. And there, you can see it's pink versus these, which have more of that like coppery bronzed look. So definitely Golden Land is going to be the closest. But as you could see during the demo with the side-by-side cheek look, they look very different on me on the skin versus just in a swatch. Part of the reason why these things are always so hard to swatch is because you have all the different pearls, and it kind of depends on how much of what color you get and so forth. The other reason is, you know, they're a pearl. So it's hard to get enough product. You're really going into the dust, which again, you might have a different proportion than what you pick up on your brush normally. All right, so that's it for my comparisons. But let's go ahead and talk about my thoughts on these items. The Meteorites, you know, they're never a disappointment to me. All Meteorites do have a violet scent. If you don't like the violet scent, you're not gonna like these. These do have it. So definitely something to note. I do really like these Meteorites and I'm glad I got them. You know, I like having them buffed in, but honestly, for me with my complexion, I think I prefer using them more as a highlight on the cheek or, you know, as a blush, a highlighting blush versus buffing them in, just because they're a little bit deeper than what I usually like to buff into my cheeks. But they give this nice like holiday golden ethereal glow to your skin as well. I think they're kind of like a medium to deeper set of Meteorites for, you know, for Guerlain. So I do think that these will be better for more skin tones. I think that's a good thing. You know, they have done a better job of just of releasing something that's a little bit more versatile compared to the Golden Bee, which came out, which, you know, actually it was pretty light. You know, that's a sparkly white one. So, you know, I think the Meteorites are a good option. Meteorites usually sell out fairly quickly every year. So if there's something you're interested in, I wouldn't wait. Right now, I've only seen them available on the Guerlain website. And that's why I ordered all of these items from. And by the way, ordering from Guerlain, no, I've never had any issues. They've only had the website up to shop from for about a year or so now. And yeah, they come, you know, packaged in this gorgeous like gift box usually and so forth. Mine came in like a little gift bag, you know, like you would get from like Dior or something. And you do get to choose a couple samples. So there's that, but you're not getting any sales. So Meteorites, I would say they're a win. Moving on to the eye crayons. If you like eye crayons, then I think you would like these. I know eye crayons are not for everybody, but one of the things I really like about these is the fact that these lighter ones here have a little bit more sheerness to them. I find it really easy to work with these. I really liked all of the combinations that I created with these, and I think they're really like easy to use if you were somebody who's traveling. It's a great way. I like having the dual option there. I like being able to use these for, you know, the entire eye look and so forth. But I do personally like to use brushes with them. You can use your finger, but I do find that it's a little bit easier to buff these things out if you have a brush and something dense, you know, in particular is going to work better. Now, so I would say they're a win. I wasn't thinking that I would like these ones as much, but I do. I really like mixing them. If I had to pick one though, I like the gray. The gray is my favorite, but those are also colors I really gravitate towards a lot. And moving on to the lipsticks. Again, I passed on the cases this year, but they are similar to this, but with sequins instead of the gemstones. Again, this is one of the cases from last year. So I chose these like faceted gemstone cases instead, which I already had in my collection, but I think these are like $22. So if you're looking for a case and you want something that's a little less expensive, this would be a good option. You can always get them during like the Sephora sale or something as well. So as for the actual lipstick shades, I really like them. I really like both of them. You know, I think the gold brick is, you know, it works on me. I like it. It's not too orange for me, but the winner is the gold red. You know, I love that shade. I think it's a really beautiful shade, and it's one that makes your teeth look whiter. So I would say everything that I picked up is a definite win for me from this collection. I really enjoy all of it. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are, if you're picking anything up. and I will see you very soon. So please leave all comments down below in the description box, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, stay safe and healthy, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Bye.